Channel 3 with Tim Ayers, Brittany Hope, and meteorologist Tony Cavalier. This is News Channel 3, 10 o'clock.
Now at 10, stepping down at the center of a national firestorm after a racist post about First Lady Michelle Obama. The mayor of Clay, West Virginia, has already resigned.
Plus, welcoming everyone to the Mountain State. Hundreds of people gathered in downtown Charleston tonight to open our doors to refugees. We begin tonight with a developing story that is making now international headlines. It's one that we broke over the weekend. Tonight, the town of Clay, West Virginia is without a mayor. That's right. Town council there accepted Beverly Whaling's resignation just a few hours ago. She came under fire after responding in support of this racially charged Facebook post about First Lady Michelle Obama. That post said, quote, "It will be refreshing to have a classy, beautiful, dignified First Lady in the White House. I'm tired of seeing an ape in heels," end quote. The post was written by the Clay County Development Corporation Director Pamela Taylor. Today, someone at that corporation told us that Taylor has been removed from her job, but they refused to elaborate. Meanwhile, back to that meeting. The acceptance of the mayor's resignation came tonight in front of a packed house. News Channel 3's Nathan Takich explains people came from hours away to take a stand against this type of talk.
Apologies were first on the agenda for town council in Clay Tuesday.
Most certainly the First Lady. I mean, I'm sorry.
As Councilman Jason Hubbard condemned both the viral Facebook post calling First Lady Michelle Obama an ape and Mayor Beverly Whaling's response, saying the post made her day.
This kind of racism is not what this community is about.
Whaling's usual seat for these meetings was the only empty one, in a room unusually packed with protesters and press. In her place, she sent this one-line letter, a succinct resignation that council wasted no time accepting.
I'm sorry to lose our mayor, but I think that she has done the best thing for the council and for the town.
After the meeting, I went to the former mayor's house. WSAZ. No one answered, but protester Lish Greiner, who came from Belpre, Ohio to attend the public meeting, says she didn't mind the absence. She says she's heard enough from Whaling.
I refuse to tolerate any type of hateful rhetoric.
And that her 2-hour drive was worth Tuesday's 7-minute meeting to hear council say enough is enough.
I was just so relieved to hear them say that they won't tolerate it as well.
But moving forward, Lish hopes continued action, creating an atmosphere of racial tolerance.
That's a first step. I hope that their actions continue to agree with that statement.
Is the next item on Clay's agenda. Nathan Takich, WSAZ News Channel 3, Clay County.
Nathan, thank you. And council is hoping to fill the town's top job as soon as possible. The ongoing debate whether Syrian refugees should be welcome in the United States was front and center in downtown Charleston tonight. Volunteers held a rally sending a welcome message to refugees, while others nearby made it clear that they hold the opposite view. News Channel 3's Andrew Colgrove spoke with people with passionate feelings on both sides.
The crowd along Kanawha Boulevard voiced their desire to welcome Syrian refugees to Charleston.
This great country of ours has always been a place where refugees are welcome.
Believing the refugees deserve a safe haven from their war-torn homeland where millions have been displaced and hundreds of thousands have been killed.
We want to welcome the refugees here to Charleston, West Virginia.
They say these refugees are trying to escape the same dangerous people the U.S. is opposed to.
The people in Syria are getting killed by them. They're getting killed by ISIS. They're getting killed by Assad. They just want to live, like they want to live in peace. They want to live away from a war-torn country. They live in fear every day.
President-elect Donald Trump campaigned on banning Muslims from entering the country and warned the refugee situation could be a Trojan horse. But this crowd believes the fear is overblown.
I have faith in the system that they can vet these refugees, and the chances of anybody coming here doing us harm are very, very slim.
Just down the road, a smaller group of protesters made it clear not everyone agrees.
I don't know how they can justify bringing in people who are going to be on government benefits when our own people have such great need. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
Whether West Virginia's capital city does become a resettlement community is yet to be determined. The U.S. Department of State is reviewing the possibility of bringing 100 refugees here in the first year. Andrew Colgrove, WSAZ News Channel 3, Charleston.
Episcopal Migration Ministries and the West Virginia Interfaith Refugee Ministry have been working to make West Virginia's capital city a place where refugees can find a safe home. Officials say that any refugee placed in the U.S. would undergo more extensive screening than any other type of category of person entering the country.
Well, it's a cool night. However, it will not be nearly as cold as the past several overnights. Hello, I'm meteorologist Josh Fitzpatrick. A warm front is moving through. That's why it will be a little bit warmer. And we had a few clouds passing by. Check out this photo from Martin County, Kentucky. Thanks to Alan for that great snapshot there as we look westbound over the pond. And some of those clouds are producing some milder temperatures because those clouds act as a blanket, keeping the readings a little bit higher. So low 50s over the tri-state and the Big Sandy Valley, 40s into the Kanawha Valley, but nothing falling from those clouds. So the warm front is coming through here with little fanfare, and expect a mix of clouds and sun in your Wednesday first forecast. Mid-40s to start, upper 50s by lunchtime, low 60s at 4 o'clock, and that's about 5 degrees above average for the 16th day of November. Weather headlines: expect a warming trend near record warmth, especially on Friday. But Tim and Brittany enjoy that because by the weekend, some big-time weather changes are on the way. I'll have an update on potential snow, especially for the mountains later this weekend in your complete forecast.
All right, Josh. Thanks.
Josh.
Hi, we're glad you're okay. We're glad you're okay.
Yeah, she is safe and sound, and we were definitely glad she was okay. Ohio State Highway Patrol was able to locate this missing woman from Ashland, Kentucky tonight. 88-year-old Dorothy Saunders went missing this afternoon in the area of 27th Street and Carter Avenue in Ashland. That's according to the release that Saunders was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
Dispatchers say that she was driving home behind her 94-year-old husband when they were separated, and she didn't make it home today. Workers in a salon noticed that Dorothy had been sitting in her car for a long period of time. They brought her inside and they called police and took care of her while they waited. And as you can see, we were there when she was reunited with her sister.
I was shocked. But she just acted like there was nothing wrong.
And her sister went on to tell Dorothy to not get into any more cars and take off, or she'd have to take the keys. EMS checked her on screen on the scene, and she is said to be doing just fine. She is back home with her husband tonight.
Well, it's now official. The Wayne County School Board accepted Superintendent Sandra Purdy's retirement tonight. Purdy was named the superintendent in July of 2014 and signed a 4-year contract in March of 2015. She spent her entire career with Wayne County Schools and says she doesn't regret a second of it.
Being an educator has been a joy. Right. It's been a privilege and it's been an honor. Yeah. And if I were asked, would I do it over again? I would tell you absolutely in a heartbeat.
And Purdy's retirement will go into effect on January 31st of 2017.
Today, Governor Tomlin announced a 2% budget cut for most West Virginia government agencies. His office says the move is necessary due to the state's general revenue fund falling behind by more than $87 million since July alone. Mr. Tomlin also announced the state hiring freeze will continue and non-essential travel for state employees still restricted. The governor says they expect these budget trends to continue, so they are looking at additional ways to try to cut more with the new budget year approaching. The governor and Bombardier Commercial Aircraft announced plans today to expand Bombardier's aircraft service into Bridgeport. The expansion is set to be expected to create about, they think about 150 new jobs at first, and then more later on. The service is doubling in size, its maintenance lines, and its man hours. The governor calls this a milestone, and he will get the state competing on a new scale. He says that this won't only create more jobs, it'll put West Virginia on the map as a business location. He says the business-state partnership also emphasizes programs to train workers in the field.
We have lots of incentive programs that we offer to encourage people to come work part-time and continue to get an education, and that's what makes a good workforce.
The big thing for us is jobs, and to keep more and more unemployed coal miners or wherever they may come from is to get their certification so they're ready to go when Bombardier says they need more people.
The governor plans to announce 2 more business expansions that have come out of his recent trip to England and Ireland. He says he doesn't want to give the details just yet, but he does say that he sees an opportunity in the medical field and in manufacturing.
Kentucky Attorney General Andy Beshear has issued a scam alert dealing with jury duty, I should say. The caller, who pretends to be a U.S. Marshal, a court worker, or some kind of other federal law enforcement authority, claims that you failed to appear for jury duty. They then say that you must pay a fine immediately over the phone or you'll be arrested. The AG says that you should just go ahead and hang up on them. He says that the law enforcement officers and other authorities will never call to arrange immediate payment or fines over the phone for missing jury duty. College football players aren't the only ones who can win the Heisman.
Up next, see how high schoolers across our region were honored with a very similar award.
And it's a seasonable night tonight as low temperatures dip on down to the upper 30s in the valleys and 40s for most of you. Here's a look outside live from downtown Huntington. Very good visibility tonight. No frost, no fog. Time lapse shows a ton of sun. A few clouds will begin to push across the sky tomorrow, but we are dry and warm until the weekend. I'll have your complete forecast here on News Channel 3 at 10 o'clock on the Tri-State CW.